A pleasant good evening from the Lone Star State, where we bring you a clash of expansion sides in USL League One. Red Hot Corpus Christi hosting the New York Cosmos, and tonight's match is presented by Pedicare. We welcome you to Corpus Christi, Texas. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action as we get a look at the USL League One table. A Corpus Christi side that has rebounded from a stretch in which they went winless in the first 10 league matches. Now they sit just 2 points shy of the playoff line with a chance to climb into the top 8 if they achieve a victory here tonight. Their opposite numbers in the New York Cosmos languishing in the cellar, 17 points off playoff pace, in need of results and in a hurry if they are to put themselves in the playoff discussion. And as we mentioned, it's been a massive resurgence for Ayman Zayed's men. 7 wins in the last 11 league matches entering tonight. The biggest reason for that, according to Corpus Christi's manager, is their defensive solidity. Just 8 goals allowed in that stretch, as well as 6 clean sheets that has now powered them joint atop the league in clean sheets, a side that has eked out a number of narrowly contested affairs, including at the weekend against Spokane Velocity. Now, if there is one Achilles heel, though, over this stretch, Ayman Zayed says it's the attack, a side that maybe hasn't been as clinical as they should be. Someone like Jake Keegan could address that problem. He currently is 3rd in USL League One in the all-time goal-scoring list, and got there with a dramatic 96-minute winner against Spokane Velocity. He's tipped with leading the line, and they're hoping he can provide the final third punch. On the opposite end of things for New York Cosmos, as we mentioned, bottom of the league at the moment. The biggest reason for that has been their defense. The joint most goals allowed in USL League One. But when you look at their XGA, that doesn't quite translate. A side that has actually posted the 6th least XGA. Davide Corti says that disparity is down to a lack of experience throughout the squad. They've committed unnecessary errors and some issues goalkeeping-wise. As you see on your screen, those statistics leave a lot to be desired. But they have shown flashes at the back. They kept a clean sheet this past weekend against AV Alta, and then snatched a winner just beyond the hour mark. Sebastian Guenzati with this acrobatic finish to lift the Cosmos to their first league victory in over a month. A man with USL Championship experience who flashed that pedigree when the Cosmos needed it most on Saturday. Well, we are just about set for the second and final meeting of the season between Corpus Christi and the Cosmos. The Sharks hoping to continue their red-hot run. New York is upset-minded. Stick with us. Lineups and kickoff next.
Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures. Listen to Mom.
I love that they always have openings. They're always, available. You can come in usually the same day, so I'm glad that they have that. And like I said, the location's great, so it's convenient. I like that.
Open till 9 p.m. weekdays and 7 p.m. weekends. We are a pediatric primary care and urgent care facility for children. Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures.
Corpus Christi has brought professional soccer to the Coastal Bend. A team you can be proud of, rally around, and celebrate with. Come see the goal celebrations, the passion, and the high intensity.
Line out front, hammered from the spot, and the save again by Talbot. Strikes, what a goal!
For 18 high-energy home matches, come show the nation Corpus Christi has the best fans. Tickets are on sale now for every match at corpuscfc.com.
We welcome you back to Cabinus Athletic Complex, where we are just about set for kickoff between Corpus Christi and New York Cosmos. And tonight's match is presented by Pedicare. Feeling under the weather, Pedicare is Corpus Christi's trusted home for pediatric and urgent care. Visit Pedicare at Yorktown and Cimarron Boulevard. And now it's time for our starting lineup, starting with Ayman Zayed's group. Two changes from the 3-2 dramatic victory over Spokane Velocity over the weekend, and they both come on the right-hand side. Alexis Cerritos and Nacho Abayal into the 11. Keep your eye on Blake Bowen, who paces this team with 7 goals and 5 assists. For Davide Corti's group, only one change from the 1-0 victory over Aviolta on Saturday, and that actually comes at fullback. Massimo Morabito dropped to the bench. Nestor Cabrera, someone who Davide Corti feels is a little more assertive and can provide some more attacking punches, an overlapping runner. He gets the start at right back. Meanwhile, it's the same attacking midfield trio of Christian Kofi, Lamine Jauna, and Ashmir Spengler, who is the talisman for this Cosmos group. Well, we are just about ready to get everything underway here from Corpus Christi, Texas. It is a rematch of a fixture that lacked fireworks, a 0-0 draw on July 18th. Nearly a month later, both these teams hoping to provide some goal-scoring punch and kickstart their respective playoff pushes. Corpus Christi, they know they will go top 8 with a victory tonight. Ayman Zayed says they've talked about the allure of being in the playoff places since day one. They are just a mere victory away from accomplishing that against a Cosmos side that has not earned a single point away from home. We wait our referee signal to get everything underway here from Cabinus Athletic Complex. Jay Schlesinger puts his whistle to his mouth, and we are underway. Corpus Christi from left to right, the Cosmos in their away yellows from right to left. Sam Goldfarb thanking you for joining us here from Cabinus Athletic Complex in Corpus Christi. We've already spoken about the remarkable turnaround that Corpus Christi has enjoyed since the start of June. Just one defeat after struggling, going winless in their first 10 league matches. It has been one of the biggest stories of the league season this summer. As we've discussed, Ayman Zayed has attributed the bulk of that to an improved defensive output, but you've seen just enough attacking firepower to get the job done in a lot of these fixtures. If there is any fixture that could cure their attacking woes on paper, it would be this one. Talking to Ayman Zayed this week, he did say the Cosmos are not a team to be taken lightly. Flashing back to that first meeting in mid-July, not a 0-0 draw, but one that was interrupted by a lightning delay that prolonged the affair for about 2 hours on the 20-minute mark. And Ayman Zayed said after the lightning delay, he felt his side came out flat in that fixture. Could have lost that match on another day. He says if that's not enough motivation to get 3 points here tonight, he doesn't know what is, because they have yet to beat the Cosmos across this fixture's young history. There's the first touch for Shannon Gomez, the 29-year-old Trinidad and Tobago native. Started to identify a real consistent backline pairing since moving Pat Langlois to right back. Center back partnership of San Roscoe and Jack Keeney has been at the heart of this Corpus Christi 11 all year. Here's the first touch for Bowen. Kwakwa. Keegan. Bowen gets it back. Dynamo on the left flank. He wins an early set piece for the Sharks. Corpus Christi's top goal scorer already making inroads towards the final third. It's clever interplay here between Bowen and Keegan. Bowen ultimately earns the free kick. We'll see what he can conjure from distance here. Bowen into the mix. Number waiting. Roscoe nearly got his head to it. Instead, it's away by Chilaka, one of the many new signings meant to reinforce this Cosmos back line. On the opposite end of things for New York Cosmos, we've discussed the defensive woes and the inexperience that has really characterized this club this season. But Davide Cortez mentioned how a number of these new signings they made in season has addressed that problem. The likes of Michael Chilaka, someone with multiple years of experience with Forward Madison under his belt. Not to mention Ozzy Ramos joining the fold, Frankie Lukovic joining about a month ago as well. This is a team that has gone into the transfer market and maybe realized the error of its initial roster construction and sought to address it. But the question is it too little too late? Just 14 points from 19 league games and 17 points off playoff pace with 13 games remaining on their docket. He knows that it's an urgent time now, but it is about adding a layer of respectability for one of the country's banner brands in the New York Cosmos. First year in League One, but this is a club that obviously has a proud history that dates back to the 1970s when they employed Pelé and Franz Beckenbauer and literal world champions as the most glamorous club in world football. Here's Spengler. This is one of the new signings, Stellan Acosta. Jonah. Holt has been a mainstay at center back all year, the lone constant on the back line for the Cosmos. And Acosta's cross is right to James Talbot, someone who Ayman Zayed heaped praise on yesterday when I spoke to him on the phone. Said he feels James Talbot, when he recruited him, had the potential to be the best goalkeeper in USL League One, and he does believe that he's lived up to those expectations. Now a league high, or joint league high, we should say, 7 clean sheets on the year. Someone who kept 4 consecutive clean sheets before that dramatic 3-2 victory over Spokane Velocity. He's just commanded that back line with such aplomb, especially over the course of this red-hot 11-match stretch. Kofi loses out on that occasion of Medina. This is Abayal. Cerritos, League One veteran in his own right. We've alluded to the dramatic nature by which Corpus Christi defeated Spokane away from home on Saturday as they look long for Keegan and he's offside. That a back and forth affair in which they fell behind on 2 separate occasions. Ayman Zayed said he felt it was far from their best performance, but snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. Goals in the final 10 minutes by Boo Boo Medina, and then of course that dramatic late winner by the man you see on your screen, Jake Keegan, on 90+6. It was a series of set pieces, first and second balls, that allowed Corpus Christi to unlock Spokane and secure the 3 points in very exciting fashion away from home. That their second away victory of the year. You see that gaudy record in the last 11 games. A lot of that has coincided with fixtures here at the Cabinets Athletic Complex. As you see, Spengler is gingerly returning to his feet now for the Cosmos. Get used to this sight. They will be man-marking Ajmer Spengler every time he picks the ball up, and that's a late challenge by Enoch Kwakwa. Certainly a foul. That goes into the game plan Ayman Zayed discussed on the phone this week, said that they do not want to let Ajmer Spengler get the ball in turn because that is where he can hurt you. Every time he gets the ball back to goal, there will be a defender in his midst. Well, fans, it doesn't matter whose colors you're wearing. At Bellevue University, your success is the only thing that matters. That's why they offer education that's designed to help you achieve your next goal. Find out more at degrees.bellevue.edu/goals. Just under 10 minutes into this second meeting of the season between a pair of expansion clubs in Corpus Christi and New York Cosmos. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action tonight. A rematch of what was a 0-0 draw, elongated by a multi-hour rain delay on July 18th. And an early yellow card has been brandished. Seems it's been given against Lamine Jauna. Well, they gave it to Ozzy Ramos instead of Jauna, and Ramos gives it away. Langlois, Corpus Christi captain with experience under Ayman Zayed at Northern Colorado Hailstorm 2 years ago. This is Kwakwa, another former Hailstorm standout. Loose clearance by Acosta. Abayal on the overlap, first time cross. It was spilled by Stefani, still loose, and Abayal skies it. That a real chance to break the deadlock inside 10 minutes. I think when Nacho Abayal watches this back, he'll want this back. It's his hard work and industry that creates the chance, and then that is just poor from Stefani. He is very fortunate that Abayal doesn't get his leg over this. Otherwise, it is almost certainly 1-0 to the Sharks. And one of the top assist providers on the Cosmos still unable to open his league account in his first professional season. This is Kofi for the Cosmos. He escorts it wide. Jauna with Cabrera for company. Jauna goes for goal. Blazes it over the crossbar though. We mentioned Ozzy Ramos was cautioned moments ago, but here's what that was for. You see them trying to restart the play. It was actually Jauna who got in the way. It was reported as a Ramos yellow card to us, but that seems to be a yellow card offense against Lamine Jauna, if anything. Well, here is Jauna. It does appear he's the man on the yellow. And it has since been corrected. Kofi. Turned over, and Cerritos in acres of space with multiple for company. Abayal across for Keegan. Never hit it cleanly, though. It may have taken a touch off Nestor Cabrera, but our referee doesn't seem to believe so. Well, another opportunity, and it's what Ayman Zayed's lamented. The lack of clinical finishing has sometimes been their undoing. Keegan just never catches it cleanly. It is an awkward cut back from Nacho Abayal. And the Cosmos spare their blushes after a real costly giveaway. Spengler. Cabrera. He's looking for the run of Guenzati. On the opposite end of things for New York Cosmos, we've discussed some of the struggles, but last weekend was not one of them. Hosted AV Alta, a side in the midst of a rocky vein of form themselves, and despite having only 34% of the ball, had more shots on goal than AV Alta managed shots in the entire game. Davide Corti saying it was the best mental preparation they've had all year, but they'll have to deal with this now. Abayal, this time wide. He's been in 3 times, and Corpus Christi still has yet to open the scoring. Brilliant ball forward, and Abayal does very well to leverage his pace here. He's trying to pick out the bottom left corner, but just snatched at it, and Stefani can watch it sail well wide. He is someone that is a very dangerous presence, though, for Corpus Christi. Someone who stood out at the University of North Carolina last season in his final year of college soccer. Already 6 assists to his name. That's joint 4th in USL League One. The only thing he has yet to do is open his professional goal-scoring account. One of the many former USL League Two standouts with this very Corpus Christi side that has made the leap to League One this year. He has been one of the brighter performers since signing that first professional contract with the club. Kofi. Ramos. The new addition earlier this month. Has featured throughout USL League One with Central Valley Fuego, as well as Madison. Vans Prinks Tires is the official tire partner of the USL. Built for practical performance and the long haul, Prinks delivers reliability for everyday drivers like you. Visit PrinksTireUSA.com to learn more. Jonah ran out of real estate on the far side on that most recent occasion. Ramos. He was clipped at the heels as he looked to bomb that forward. And it does appear there will be a stern talking to for Bubu Medina, who was at the center of that. Acosta. Guinzotti. This pedigree is hard to dispute. 9 seasons in USL Championship, 75 goals at the championship level. Now making the move back to New York Cosmos. He's the lone holdover from the second iteration of the Cosmos that competed in the NASL. This is a club that was so successful across their 2 spells in NASL. 8-time league winners during that spell. Also competed in NISA back in the day, but this their first foray into USL League One after a near decade-long hiatus. It's good to see them back. There's a cross in towards Christian Kofi. So he's still working his way back from injury. Links up well with Guinzotti here. He's looking back for him, but Roscoe made himself an obstacle. Fans turn to CBS Sports Network on Saturday, August 22nd at 10 p.m. Eastern for a key USL Championship matchup. Orange County SC hosts FC Tulsa as 2 top contenders collide out west. Catch all of the action on CBS Sports Network Saturday, August 22nd. Here is Spengler for the Cosmos. He's their creative mastermind. This is Nestor Cabrera. Now Jonah. Keegan, cleverly done on the turn, and space to run in behind now with runners as well. Cerritos is onside, was looking for Abayal, but not enough on it. Seeing these transition opportunities pop up pretty appetizingly though for Corpus Christi. And the Cosmos, for now, managing them just well enough. Long throw potential now for Jack Keeney and company. We'll see if he opts to go direct from this situation. It is a side that was a handful on set pieces on Saturday. 2 of their 3 goals as a direct result of set piece scenarios. This is a makeshift set piece. Taken short. Kwakwa curls it to the back post. Loose header, Cerritos, and it hit his arm in the process. Well, there's your first proper glance at Tristan Stefani tonight. Already under fire, the 23-year-old. Someone who opened the season as the go-to starter between the sticks. Then with the signing of Javier Garcia, fell out of the lineup, but now making yet another start for the Cosmos here and has reestablished himself since the Brinks Cup finale, in which he made 7 saves at Portland Hearts of Pine in what wound up being a 1-1 draw. Since then, Davide Corti impressed enough with his performance to allow him to continue between the sticks. Speaks about the raw physical tools he possesses as a 6'4" goalkeeper that can cover space really effectively. The issue sometimes has been consistency, just a save rate that's barely a touch over 50%. As we spotlighted off the top, this is a Cosmos side that features the league lowest save percentage as a team, but have seen real signs of promise from Stefani since that confidence-building performance in their final Brinks Cup fixture a little over a month ago. Kofi cuts it back towards Guenzati. Kini was there first. Not only as far, though, as Lukovic. And now Chilaka. Quick turn from Anderson Holtz. Lukovic again. Numbers now joining the attack for the Cosmos. This is Kofi. Squaring up with Langlois. It's a curling cross to the back stick, and nearly picked out Lamine Jauna. Shannon Gomez doing just enough to intervene. He still has yet to open his goal-scoring account for the Cosmos, Lamine Jauna, but he showed real potential last season with Texoma, one of the many former Texoma players that is now under contract as an in-season addition for New York Cosmos. Did supply that Guenzati winner against AV Alta over the weekend. A performance that Davide Corti was thrilled with. He now says, though, they have to adjust their mindset. A team that played a more defense transition-minded approach on Saturday. He said tonight against a Corpus Christi side that won't press them out of possession, they need to be a little more assertive in possession and break them down. You just wonder if maybe that leaves them exposed to the counterattack, especially because Ayman Zayed said to me this week he feels the Cosmos are most dangerous in transition moments, and take those away when you have more of the ball. Though Spengler is always dangerous. And here's Kofi again. Lukovic. It's a lackadaisical ball towards Kofi. Acosta. That's cleverly done by Kofi, and Langlois comes over for support. Let's see what Stalin Acosta can queue up from a potential long throw scenario here. Joining the club on August 7th. Someone who impressed Davide Corti in his debut at the weekend. It is a long throw. Spengler's there first, and now Acosta again. And the low cross shepherded out for the match's first corner. In-swinger is toward the near post. Headed over, and he will run it back from the opposite corner flag now. Seen positive signs in possession from the Cosmos. Spengler with a chance to cause some danger from a would-be in-swinger here. Taken short. Spengler. Dipping cross, had plenty of menace, but beyond the reach of Guenzati. And it may have taken a slight touch off of a Corpus Christi player. That's what our referee has ruled. So a third corner in rapid succession for the Cosmos. And it is Lukovic getting another crack at the apple here. Third corner before the home side has produced one, and this one's gone short. Kofi. It's no surprise that Ayman Zayed's side is well drilled on dead ball defending. His squads have always been built on their intensity as well as their heart, and he's mentioned how this uptick in their form has coincided with a colossal turnaround at the back. He says that the likes of Sam Roscoe and Jack Keeney have gelled so well at center back. That partnership he feels is the best in the league right now. And the recent results certainly support that claim. Spengler. Midway point of this first half, and we're still awaiting first blood in the second and final meeting between these two expansion clubs. Lukovic weaves past Medina and out wide for Jauna. Jauna inside on his left, and what a finish that is! A first goal in Cosmos colors for Lamine Jauna, and the visitors lead. That is a belter from Lamine Jauna, and the 30-year-old opens the scoring on 25 minutes. It's just systematically worked, side-to-side play. Jauna, a simple shake inside, and that is what he can provide, the sheer power he brings on the right flank. Lukovic does well to break a line. That produces the 1v1 matchup, and Jauna, arguably one of the better 1v1 players on the pitch, wins that battle and finishes in ferocious fashion. Lamine Jauna on 25 minutes, a native of the Gambia who spent last season with Texoma and enjoyed a return to form after some shaky seasons in USL Championship. Has always been known to be a mercurial player, someone who can bring a change of gear and really provide an uplift as an X factor. Had yet to open his account goal-scoring wise, but did assist the winner on Saturday, and now he does open his league account for New York Cosmos. On 25 minutes, the visitors lead 1-0. A terrific, brilliant finish. Just put his laces through it, and there was no real chance for James Talbot, who could not cover his near post quickly enough. And now Corpus Christi must overcome an early deficit. Long throw in from Gomez. A flick on. Langlois was lingering. Now back into the quarter of uncertainty. It falls for Abayal. He was trying for the spectacular, but can't quite one-up Jauna. It's been quite the journey for Lamine Jauna, someone who spent the early portions of his career in USL Championship, the likes of Atlanta United 2 and Phoenix Rising, his previous employers, but then spent the entire 2023 season without a professional club and was left scrambling for a new home. Went down to the NISA ranks with Georgia Lions, and then last season got his opportunity back in the USL ecosystem with Texoma, where he produced 8 goal contributions across all competitions. And after signing with the Cosmos on May 14th, you're starting to see what someone like him can provide for this group. When he is on his game, he's unplayable. And that was a finish that would be tough to deny for any goalkeeper at any level. Now Corpus Christi must come out of its shell and possess it more. You just wonder how that alters their approach, because they were generating the match's best chances prior to that Jauna finish. as a transition-based side. As this wears on, they can't afford to just sit back and absorb pressure and wait for a Cosmos mistake the entire game. But if Saturday is any indication, they've shown a capacity to overcome deficits against far more difficult circumstances. It's two separate one-goal disadvantages against Spokane left on the back burner this past weekend. Fans, don't miss a moment of this inaugural season in Corpus Christi. Tickets are on sale now for all Corpus Christi FC matches. Buy yours today at corpuscfc.com or call 361-225-3316. For those that have just flipped this on, we welcome you to Cabinus Athletic Complex in Corpus Christi, Texas, where the hottest team in the league is currently trailing the team that sits bottom of the table. Lamine Jaunup on 25 minutes making the difference with a ferocious strike. One where he just shook off Shannon Gomez and drove it beyond the reach of James Talbot. That's where we find ourselves on the stroke of half hour. And here is the goal scorer, Jaunup. It's an appetizing cross towards Gwenzati. Now Kofi. The onslaught continues for the lads in gold. Flick on header. And finally out of danger by Keegan, who's done his defensive duties there. You see that record on your screen. This is a Cosmos side that, as we mentioned off the top, has not secured a single result in league play away from home. 9 defeats, and they've all come by a pretty comfortable margin. Right now, they'd be in line for what would be their first victory away from home across all competitions, and their first points in league play as well. Still time for Corpus Christi to change that, though. Here's Langlois. Kwakwa dispatches of Spengler. And Langlois on the overlap. That cross overhit and too much bend to it. Well, fans, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. All right, now a slight surprise on the cards. New York Cosmos, throughout this season, has never achieved back-to-back victories that haven't come at home. They did win back-to-back games in late March and early April against Fort Wayne and Charlotte Independence, and then went over 4 months without a victory. They've only achieved 2 wins in the last 14 games across all competitions. This would be one of the more jaw-dropping results, especially when you consider the recent form of the Sharks. But this is USL League One, where parity is the common theme regardless of the teams you have in a fixture. And the Cosmos have shown signs of improvement, namely that victory at the weekend over AV Alta. You're starting to see signs of what they can become between now and the end of the season. Here's Bowen for Corpus Christi. Looked at the legs, but the ball was cleanly won according to our official. Spengler pings it long for Gwenzati, who was onside, and Talbot had to get crafty with that. And now still well out of his goal. Gwenzati. Too many blue shirts in the vicinity. Do have an earlier clarification. The Cosmos have won 1 match away from home in all comps. That came in the Prince Tyrese USL Cup, a come-from-behind victory against Westchester, but they have not secured a single point in league play away from home, as we mentioned. Did actually, strangely enough, take 4 points from their 2 road fixtures in the Prince Tyrese USL Cup. It's still were unable to progress out of their group, though. What is important to note is Corpus Christi, no stranger to being in these scenarios. They boast the 5th most points gained from losing positions, 8, including a full 3 from Spokane, a place that is extremely difficult to play for anyone. And they managed to overcome 2 separate 1-goal deficits in that 3-2 triumph. Another throw in the offing for Corpus Christi. It's a heavy touch from Bowen, who has yet to work his way into this game. But Gomez tracks back and intercepts, and now Kwakwa looking for Bowen once more. Costa behind, and it is just a throw for Corpus Christi. Although given the positioning, it effectively is a makeshift corner kick. So a long throw here, and Shannon Gomez to do the honors. Can he provide an avenue back onto terms? Long throw, it was flicked along, still loose for Bowen. Too many yellow shirts in the way. And Gomez again. Flashing ball, flicked along to Langua. It was still loose for Roscoe, and then finally out of trouble. It was a snapshot, and it required a quick reaction. It's a reaction that Roscoe was a touch late on. As we tick towards halftime, you see the script flipping. Langua. Abeal keeps it in play. And he overhit that massively. There's your first glance at Ayman Zayed. He's someone who's known for producing successful projects. Just look back to his 3 years at Northern Colorado Hailstorm, where he built a juggernaut from the ground up. And he's spoken about the parallels between his time with the Hailstorm and now his time with Corpus Christi, particularly the inaugural season in 2022 with the Hailstorm. He mentioned how they got off to a really shaky start, and it required them to buckle down and find a way to grind out results. And he likens that start to the start they've experienced now this year, 10 winless across league play. But since then, they've flipped the script, much like they did in 2022 with the Hailstorm. And they're within striking distance now of the playoff line, as this is a free kick presented by Driscoll Children's Hospital. Together we heal. Bowen. Not enough velocity on that. Clearly as far as Gomez, though. Ayman Zayed is someone who's built successful projects before, and the recent run is any indication he may do so again in Corpus Christi. And remember, this is still a club building its permanent residence, a soccer stadium in Corpus Christi, which is going to be a remarkable step for a club that a year ago was competing in USL League Two's Lone Star Division. It's just a story of the sheer mobility, not just for players or coaches even in the USL, but also clubs. Ayman Zayed has been tasked with overseeing that process. Here's a free kick that Guenzati's won for the Cosmos here. Keegan late on this. I'll tell you what, there's not much in that. I think Guenzati is done very well to sell it. He won't complain, though. This is well within Ashmere Spengler's range to ask questions. Ozzy Ramos is also in the vicinity. Comes back to Spengler, who now arcs it in and just headed over. It hit the field goal post from Christian Kofi. Christian Kofi finds himself in a very dangerous position, and this is what they've missed in his absence. Just wins that header against Shannon Gomez, leverages his height, ultimately just ricochets it off of the field goal posts. He's someone Davide Cortez mentioned they are so glad to have back. Missed 9 consecutive matches before returning to the 11 on Saturday against AV Alta. He's been grappling with a lingering injury that has kept him out for time, and he's still a little limited. Can't go the full 90 without feeling discomfort, but Davide Cortez mentions that he is someone who's perhaps their best 1v1 presence on the pitch. Having him in the fold adds another dimension, especially when you work in overlapping fullbacks into the fold. And here's Kofi again tucking inside. Spengler looking to slip in Lamine Jauna, and Talbot just wins that foot race. Ramos. He is fouled. And Ramos in some discomfort. One of the newer signings by the Cosmos, who signed officially on August 3rd. Well, fans, when you feel hunger strike, there's only one cure, and that's to eat more chicken. Visit one of the 9 Chick-fil-A locations throughout the Coastal Bend today and try the latest menu item, the Jalapeno Ranch Club. Download the Chick-fil-A app and start earning rewards for every purchase made. Yellow card was just shown to Ayman Zayed. He's not shy about letting the officials know his stances on their decisions. And his reaction to that foul given in favor of Ozzy Ramos has yielded him into the book. That may suspend him for the next fixture, because he was 1 yellow card away from yellow card accumulation entering the night. And actually, he did manage to get that expunged for good behavior the last 3 matches, so he will be present for the next fixture. Here's Jauna. Cross cut out by Roscoe. Now, prior to tonight, he was 1 yellow card away from suspension due to accumulation, but following a 3rd consecutive match without a yellow card on Saturday, he's gotten that off his record, so pick the right time to get a yellow card this month. Kofi. Here's Holtz. Ramos. Kept in play by Cabrera, only just. He shrugged off it. Another set piece for Corpus Christi, and it is brought to you by Driscoll Children's Hospital. Together we heal. More target practice for Blake Bowen, who has underhit the last few of these set pieces from this range. So you can expect him to put his laces through it more on this occasion. Does put his laces through it, and it still doesn't have enough venom on it. And now it's turned over. Jauna, Spengler chasing as well, but Bowen sticks with it. It's Medina now. He gives it away. He does manage to track it back down. Tremendous story for Corpus Christi. Someone who joined the team on a preseason trial and has made quite the impact. Eamon Zayed said even when he signed him, he expected him to be more of a depth reserve piece. He's made himself a mainstay in midfield to the point where now a few other clubs at higher levels are sniffing around. He's generating interest throughout the USL ecosystem and beyond. Chilaka. Final 90 seconds of the initial 45. Costa. Looks long for Spangler. Bowen. Gomez. Abeal. Is there one final plot twist before intermission? Or will the Cosmos enter halftime with a narrow advantage? That goal scored by Lamine Jauna in 25 minutes. A laser-like strike to make the difference. Gomez has flop flanks with Langlois at the moment. And surges inside. He's looking for Cerritos. Instead it comes loose for Guenzati. And Kofi with room to roam the other direction. Jauna charging at Langlois and bypassing Langlois. That's a strong save from Talbot, who maintains the 1-goal margin. Well, Talbot was beaten by Jauna 20 minutes ago. He does not make that mistake a second time. He sees this from the get-go. Jauna knows he has Langlois for pace, so Talbot comes off his line to close down the angle, and that was a successful endeavor by the 29-year-old goalkeeper. It is a strong stop from the Irishman. Another real chance for Lamine Jauna, who has already made his mark on this one. Cabrera. 2 minutes of stoppage time separate us from halftime, and the Cosmos continuing to threaten. Acosta. Kofi. Guenzati. Arcing ball away by Keeney. And maybe a chance to break. They hunt the run of Cerritos. Just lost out. And there's a player still down for the Cosmos. It appears that's Nestor Cabrera, who has dealt with his fair share of minor knocks here and there this season. But he's back to his feet and seems content to continue. That was the big lineup headache Davide Corti mentioned he was dealing with this morning. Said that Massimo Morabito played well on Saturday against AV Alta, but it was the difference in profile that Cabrera offers as a more attack-minded, possession-oriented fullback that may be better suited for this fixture, and that ultimately is the decision he made. Cabrera so far has acquitted himself well. Someone who's converted from a deep-lying midfielder to a fullback, and that transition to and fro fullback to defensive mid and vice versa is a pretty common theme in today's football, especially given the trend of fullbacks inverting. It's likely the final sojourn forward of the first half, and it's a rather underwhelming one. Well, there's the halftime whistle. Corpus Christi with work to do. They trail at halftime, courtesy of Lamine Jauna's slashing strike on 25 minutes to make all the difference. Jauna had a chance to even double the advantage just beyond the 45-minute threshold, but as things stand, it is a merited advantage for the visitors. At halftime, our scoreline reads Corpus Christi 0, New York Cosmos 1. The visitors, who sit bottom of the table, currently in line to spring a major surprise. Stick with us when we return a look around USL League One here from Corpus Christi.
Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, creando futuros saludables. Nuestros pediatras certificados y el personal clínico brindan atención médica excepcional a los niños desde su nacimiento hasta la adolescencia, porque su salud es nuestra prioridad. Abierto hasta las 9 de la noche de lunes a viernes y hasta las 7 los fines de semana. Somos un centro pediátrico de atención primaria y de urgencias para niños. Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, cuidando un futuro saludable.
Corpus Christi has brought professional soccer to the Coastal Bend. A team you can be proud of, rally around, and celebrate with. Come see the goal celebrations, the passion, and the high intensity.
Line out front, hammered from the spot, and the save again by Talbot. Strikes. What a goal!
For 18 high-energy home matches, come show the nation Corpus Christi has the best fans. Tickets are on sale now for every match at corpuscfc.com.
We welcome you back to the Lone Star State, where at halftime, New York Cosmos in the middle of what would be one of the bigger surprises in USL League One. They lead 1-0 over Corpus Christi. And now it's time to get a look around USL League One, starting with the stadiums that have popped up throughout the country. New stadiums as well as stadiums that are being built. Take a look at this feature.
They are more than shiny and new. The latest collection of brand new stadiums in USL are a commitment to communities. Fans in Boise have set attendance records. Finishing touches greet the fans in Fort Wayne weekly. In Greenville, Triumph fans are in love with their permanent new home. These projects take time and patience, but nothing gets a community excited like seeing a shovel in the ground. Detroit City of the USL Championship has gone from dreams to renderings to construction. At its recent groundbreaking in Southwest Detroit, Alumni Phi Stadium became a vision for the very near future.
We've been incredibly fortunate to create something that's way bigger than us, and that we have the great fortune of being stewards of it. And the stadium represents really an investment in that community, an investment in this neighborhood, a tremendous investment in the city, and something that will be around for generations to come.
With this stadium, the club is investing in its future and demonstrating a long-term commitment to building a sustainable, community-driven club. I'm excited for what the future holds for Detroit City. I can't wait to be back here for the opening match in 2028. And I want to say congratulations to the fans, supporters, ownership group, and the entire community that made this amazing new home possible.
At 15,000 seats, Alumni Phi raises the bar for Detroit City. Soon there will be more groundbreakings and sounds of stadium construction as USL gets closer to the launch of Premier.
No one thought we would do what we did against Louisville. We were hot, we were clicking, we were scoring goals.
It's not here by accident. It's not by chance.
You only get one chance to make a first impression.
If you're against us, it's not going to be good for you. But if you're with us, it's the greatest day you ever had.
I think Idahoans have been clamoring for something that is theirs.
They impact just our energy on the field and definitely add to the momentum.
I'm just so proud to say that I've been here for all of it.
There was no doubt in my mind we weren't going to win.
This was a glorious victory at home.
The Rowdies fans are one of a kind.
Where the grandstands at one point were rocking.
The whole place shook.
has a goal, he scores! Puts Tulsa ahead.
Hay mucha fiesta, señor Martino. Hay sed de revancha, doctor. Pero falta gol, estamos esperando a un gol. ¿Hugo Sánchez? Sí, tira para adelante. ¿Quién maneja? ¿Un futbolista? Súbete, llegamos por fin. Ay, bendito sea el chapar, doctor. Hugo, ¿regreso a las canchas? ¿Algún consejo?
Sí, confía y cree en ti.
¡Ey! ¡Pasa al norte! A donde me den la oportunidad, pero listo para dar el paso. ¡Listo, vamos!
This is your moment.
Unreal. A jaw-dropping leveler. Stoppage time draw. Wonderful finish in the USL.
Take a load off it. Take a load.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This summer, get 1,000 bonus points and a chance to win 250,000 bonus points.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, creando futuros saludables. Nuestros pediatras certificados y el personal clínico brindan atención médica excepcional a los niños desde su nacimiento hasta la adolescencia, porque su salud es nuestra prioridad. Abierto hasta las 9 de la noche de lunes a viernes y hasta las 7 los fines de semana. Somos un centro pediátrico de atención primaria y de urgencias para niños. Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, cuidando un futuro saludable.
We welcome you back to Corpus Christi, where at halftime, red-hot Corpus Christi trails the New York Cosmos by a 1-0 scoreline. And now it is time to continue our look around USL League One with a look at the scores and upcoming schedule here in match week 25. Two other fixtures ongoing or finished. A 1-1 draw between Knoxville and Portland. Knoxville securing an equalizer through Babacar Dieng 4 minutes from full time. Meanwhile, Sarasota, a surprising lead over Chattanooga, which means that if Corpus Christi can flip the script and win, they would climb to 8th in the league table. And as you look at Saturday's schedule, it is a loaded 8-match slate in USL League One. 4 matches around the 7 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 kickoff time. One to watch. Richmond hosting Portland Hearts of Pine. After Portland dropped points, that one is a must-win for their playoff hopes. Meanwhile, the Cosmos travel to Chattanooga in a key fixture for the Red Wolves. And then as you head later into the evening, a few fixtures to keep your eye on. Two of the hottest teams in the league in Madison and Charlotte Lockhorns. Meanwhile, Corpus Christi hosts Westchester, and then the late night tussle between AV Ulta and FC Naples. That rematch from a couple weeks ago. Well, that is your look around USL League One. Now it is time to get a look at the USL as a whole. With our halftime update, Dan Lucas has more information for you on the other side of this quick breather.
It is halftime in League One. We hope you're enjoying the match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at the headlines. The playoff line in League One is a crowded place entering this week thanks to runs from Corpus Christi and Chattanooga Red Wolves. Chattanooga collected a much-needed 3 points with a win at Fort Wayne, while Corpus Christi pulled out a victory at Spokane, extending its unbeaten run in league play to 6 matches. Near the top of the table, Charlotte Independence kept the pressure on first-place Union Omaha with a 3-1 win over Sarasota Paradise. Swabu Maru stayed atop the Golden Boot race with his 11th goal of the season. Charlotte is pouncing on opponents early in matches, with 13 of their goals coming in the first 15 minutes of play. Fort Wayne forward Lillian Ricole was transferred to San Antonio of the USL Championship Ricole was the League One Player of the Month in July and heads to a club looking for some more punch offensively as it stands in the hunt for the Western Conference title. Upcoming Spotlight broadcast. Fort Wayne hosts Richmond on CBS Sports Network on September 2nd. Then in the championship, Sacramento hosts San Antonio on ESPN2, followed by Birmingham and Brooklyn 3 days later on 2DN. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures. Listen to Mom.
I love that they always have openings. They're always, available. You can come in usually the same day. So I'm glad that they have that. And like I said, the location's great. So it's convenient. I like that.
Open till 9 p.m. weekdays and 7 p.m. weekends. We are a pediatric primary care and urgent care facility for children. Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures.
Corpus Christi has brought professional soccer to the Coastal Bend. A team you can be proud of, rally around, and celebrate with. Come see the goal celebrations, the passion, and the high intensity.
Line out front, hammered from the spot, and the save again by Talbot. Strikes. What a goal!
For 18 high-energy home matches, come show the nation Corpus Christi has the best fans. Tickets are on sale now for every match at corpuscfc.com.
Welcome back to the Lone Star State. We're at halftime. Corpus Christi with work to do against the team in the league cellar. They trail New York Cosmos by a 1-0 scoreline. And now it is time to get a look at our first half highlights. It was a fast start for Corpus Christi, particularly on the counterattack. You see Nacho Abayal, this is the third of 3 standout chances he was involved in the opening 15 minutes, but he drags this wide, and Corpus Christi just missing out on early opportunities to open the scoring. And they would pay the price for that, because on 25 minutes, after the Cosmos grew into the game, Lamine Jauna would provide the decisive blow that opened the scoring. He's matched up 1v1 here with Shannon Gomez, bypasses him with a shake of the shoulder and just drives it low into the bottom right corner. Talbot does not have it covered at his near post. He just sends him the wrong direction with that little body feint, and then he picks out the bottom right with expertise. A well-placed finish for Jauna's first goal in Cosmos colors, and he lifts New York to an early advantage. And then he had a chance to double the lead just before halftime here. He squared up 1v1 with Langlois, who flopped flanks, and he just bypasses him. And if not for the heroics of James Talbot, this would be a commanding advantage for the Cosmos. Not what you would have had on the cards prior to this fixture, but they've been the more clinical, and they lead as a result. And you look at the halftime stats, it's hard to argue the Cosmos don't deserve this advantage. Yes, they've been outshot, but they have the only 2 shots on target and nearly 60% of the ball in that first half. Davide Corti mentioned they would be the protagonists in this fixture. Sometimes that's come back to bite New York, but not tonight. Clinical Cosmos lead by a 1-0 scoreline. And we are just about ready now to get the second half underway from Cabanis Athletic Complex. James Talbot and Corpus Christi with work to do if they are to flip the script, but it is a team that did so a week ago, trailed by a 1-0 scoreline on Saturday night against Spokane Velocity, and managed to both level the scoreline and then overcome a 2-1 deficit with 20 minutes to play. If there is any side that can do it in the current form they're in with the resilience they've shown, it would be Corpus Christi at this moment of the season. The question is, can they do that to maintain this strong vein of form, or will it be the Cosmos securing not just their first road result of the year, but their first road victory of 2026 in league play? Corpus Christi now has made a change. Alexis Cerritos, his night has come to a conclusion. He's been hooked at halftime. He is replaced by Tomas Pondeca, more of a listed midfielder. So you wonder if that suggests a shift in shape to maybe one up front with Keegan and then a five-man midfield to try and control more of the game. And on initial look, it seems that may just be the case for Corpus Christi, going to a more ball-oriented approach as they chase this in the second. We are back underway from Cabanis Athletic Complex. Sam Goldfarb taking you through the remainder of this one. We thank you for joining us on this Wednesday night in USL League One. As we showed you moments ago, the lone goal scorer, Lamine Jauna, on 25 minutes, and he had a chance to double that advantage himself. The Cosmos have scored the only goal in this young fixture, and a chance to secure the only victory after these two teams shared the spoils in a scoreless draw a month ago. Ayman Zayed himself is renowned for tweaks and halftime team talks, and he mentioned at halftime, he said to his group, it was far from good enough at Spokane at the weekend. Velocity was the better of the two sides, he himself admitted in the first half, but his squad has been known for their resilience and their character all season long. This is a group that started the year winless in their first 10 league matches and has overcome that to put themselves in the playoff discussion. And now it's a question of whether that resilience will rear its head once more. Right now, cuts a frustrated figure on the touchline. Someone who is always animated, and that is why so many of his players love playing for him. Speaking to him this week, he did say, look, at the end of the day, it is a sign of the work we put in and the improvements we made, particularly defensively, that we have turned this around. But we don't want to just go through a flash-in-the-pan vein of form. He likened the current spot they're in to Texoma FC's a year ago in USL League One, another Texas-based club. And Texoma, also similarly under Adrian Forbes, started the year really shakily a year ago and then underwent a similar winning run. Not quite at this magnitude, but put themselves in the playoff conversation heading into September in the final months of 2025. And then Ayman Zayed, he put it, they hit another rough vein of form that effectively doomed them by the second or third to last match day of the League One campaign. He says, we don't want to have a good vein and then let it slip. And that is the rallying cry as they head into the late stages of August and the business end of this League One season. They do have a chance to arc a long throw into the mix now if they so choose. It is Shannon Gomez once again, who's done a lot of the honors from long throws. Keep your eye on the center back duo of Roscoe and Keeney. Keeney provided the equalizer on Saturday. That was flicked along the Langlois, but it was right at Stefani. As we mentioned off the top, this is a Corpus Christi side that also is known for its ability to get to first and second balls. They boast considerable size on the back line, and they know how to position themselves to get to these 50-50 scenarios in and around the penalty area. It is a squad that doesn't necessarily score at a prolific clip, but it is one that seems to score in timely moments. This is Roscoe. Space for Bowen now. And he has Pondek up. Looking to switch the play and does so effectively. Abayal cuts it back towards Bowen. Didn't place it accurately enough, though. Roscoe. Gomez. Kwakwa has Bowen. Can't quite pick him out. It's tenacious defending from Chilaka. Look at the Cosmos' record this season. It's very rare that they keep back-to-back clean sheets, but the last time they did so, they capped that off in the most recent Corpus Christi meeting. Had a 0-0 draw following a 1-0 victory over Naples, then underwent a rocky run with 8 goals allowed in the next 3 before that triumph on Saturday. They do win a set piece here at Corpus Christi, and tonight's free kick is powered by Driscoll's Children's Hospital. Together, we heal. Bowen has left a lot to be desired in scenarios like these so far, but he is someone who can put in an appetizing dead ball delivery at any given moment. And he could even, if he so chooses, have a hit at goal if he wants to try and catch Stefani out. He curls it into the mix. Took a touch, but flicked across the face. And no trouble for the Cosmos keeper. It is a corner, though, for Corpus Christi. They're twisting the screws, though. This is his best delivery, Bowen. May have even taken the final touch off Chilaka. That may have been what rescued the Cosmos from an equalizer. Now Stefani and company must grapple with this set piece. It is one of the first corners of the night, presented by Corpus Christi F.C., and it's an underwhelming one at that. It was presented by the Corpus Christi Athletic Club. Live happy. Abayal beyond the reach of Bowen on that occasion. Well, fans, Brinks Tires is the official tire partner of the USL. Built for practical performance and the long haul, Brinks delivers reliability for everyday drivers like you. Visit BrinksTireUSA.com to learn more. Just after the restart, here at Cabinets Athletic Complex, 1-0 to New York Cosmos, courtesy of Lamine Jauna's 25th minute opener. A well-hit ball at the near post that bypassed James Talbot. That is the lone moment of difference so far. Kwakwa. There's Pondeka, the substitute. He latches onto it again, the 25-year-old. Pondeka, a native of Flower Mound, Texas, joining from FC Dallas after spending the bulk of his early career in the academy ranks there. Did play a key role for North Texas SC. He's best known for supplying Padrino's dramatic late winner in the MLS Next Pro Cup final against Philadelphia Union 2 in 2024. He's someone who's played at a high-pressure stage before. This is Bowen. Abayal. Dipping cross. It was towards Langlois. And out for another corner, which, as we previously mentioned, all corners tonight are brought to you by the Corpus Christi Athletic Club. Live happy. After not producing a single corner in the first half, it's 2 in rapid succession now for the Sharks. Will be Blake Bowen to deliver a would-be outswinger. And we will wait on that. There's a player who's been thrust down to the deck for Corpus Christi. It appears Bubu Medina has taken the worst of the hand fighting in the box. As the suspense continues to intensify here in the Lone Star State. Bowen, high arcing outswinger to Roscoe. Couldn't quite knock it to Langlois. Stefani did well to put himself between Langlois and the ball. Signs of life, though, from the Sharks. Now it's a question of whether they have that touch of clinical finishing that Ayman Zayed has mentioned, is their Achilles heel even in the midst of this stronger run. That is a late challenge on Kofi that draws our officials' ire. Roscoe was first to this header. Didn't have enough venom in it, but it did nearly reach Pat Langlois. And if not for the quick reaction of Tristan Stefani, Langlois could have gotten there first. And it will be now a corner the other direction for the Cosmos. So Frankie Lukovic will do the honors. It's first corner of the second half for the Cosmos. It's starting to become a set-piece fest here in Texas. Lukovic, the Gonzaga University product. It's a under-hit delivery that's far too tight on the near post, but it was tracked down by Kofi. This is Stalin Acosta. Cabrera, Jauna, Kwakwa in the way, and he goes down in a bit of discomfort. Both he and Jauna prone on the pitch at the moment. That is concerning for both sides of the coin, because for the Cosmos, Jauna finally making a difference as the goal scorer, someone who's grappled with injury himself. And Enoch Kwakwa is the key engine in midfield for the Sharks. First challenge from Kwakwa is a strong one, and then he maybe feels the after effects of it after the fact, because he pulls up as Nestor Cabrera is coming in to win the ball. And that is certainly something to watch for fans of both clubs. It seems both are up and fine, though. Well, fan soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. We are just shy of the hour mark here at Cabinus Athletic Complex in Corpus Christi, Texas. Sam Goldfarb bringing you all of the action tonight. It is the league's bottom feeder in the table in New York Cosmos that leads Corpus Christi by a 1-0 scoreline. Lamine Jauna with a well-placed strike on 25 minutes. But if you've watched this, you would not think the Cosmos are anything like that. As Keegan's effort, he's deflected out for a corner. This is not a Cosmos side that has looked the part of a team that occupies the bottom of the table. It is a team that has been clinical and has had moments where they even could have doubled the lead. Not to mention a spell of obdurate defending that has lasted nearly an hour, in which they've started to weather bigger storms thrust upon them by the Sharks. Another corner kick presented by the Corpus Christi Athletic Club Live Happy, and it's an outswinger from Bowen. Rolls back to Stefani. Fans, begin your path to the pros with the Corpus Christi FC Academy. Kids ages 5 to 18 can start building their technical soccer skills, work with a team, and compete with the best in the state. Head to ccfcacademy.com to register for the upcoming season. You never know. One day, Ayman Zayed may be your manager. You may be competing for a USL League One title if all breaks right. Jauna showing no ill after effects from the earlier coming together with Kwakwa, and he draws the yellow card on Shannon Gomez, who was wrapped all around him on that occasion. Well done by Jauna, who's logged an impressive performance. That touch of trickery that the Cosmos have lacked in his absence. And it is a textbook yellow card. Gomez does not even protest. Bowen. Zadi may face some after effects of that challenge from the ref. Did pull on the shirt. Does not seem Jay Schlesinger wants to produce another yellow though. Abayal. Bowen. Too many yellow shirts and maybe a chance to break for Spangler, who is off to the races now. And a quality recovery by Nacho Abayal, who tracks back admirably. Corpus Christi lacking a goal, and it now seems they're going amongst the reserves. Nacho Abayal exits for a proper number 9 in Dominic Bockstein, who joined on loan officially earlier today from FC Naples. Ayman Zayed raving about his target man abilities, the physical presence he provides up top, and someone who did enjoy a fast start to the 2026 season with FC Naples. A pair of goals in as many league matches, including one against this Corpus Christi side in mid-March. And he saw his share of minutes deteriorate rapidly, especially in the wake of Matt Poland's departure, and now an opportunity to make an impact under Ayman Zayed's tutelage. There's a player down now for the Cosmos. And it appears Ozzy Ramos is slow to return to his feet. Talking to Ayman Zayed, he mentioned how goal scoring has been a problem, and someone like Dominic Bockstein, a player who has flashed a capability to score in bunches, both at the college level and even in the early stages of his first full season with Naples this year, is someone who could address that issue. A side that outside of Keegan has lacked real reinforcement up top. It's not just someone who can provide a change of pace and a new profile, but it's also someone that can take the pressure off of the 35-year-old Keegan. And with Corpus Christi occasionally struggling for goals, it's the addition of Bockstein as well as E.J. Johnson that Zayed feels can shift the narrative heading into the final 2 months of the year. Cabrera. Jonah. Ramos looking in behind for Nestor Cabrera and does find him. Back for Jonah. It's an appetizing cross, but one that's a little tight on Talbot. Quinzati applauding the effort though. And here is Bockstein's first touch with Corpus Christi. And it's a productive one as he sends Pondeka in behind. Pondeka gets there, drives it goalward, but Stefani was there. And he denies him from a tight angle. But already you're seeing the way Bockstein can shift the geography of a back line. Real chance here for Corpus Christi. And it comes off the foot of Dominic Bockstein. It's textbook hold-up play, and then he waits this pass perfectly, and Pondeka leverages his pace to his advantage, beats Stalin Acosta to it, was shaping up to aim for the bottom left, and Stefani made himself big to get in the way, but that is the most promising spell we've seen from the Sharks here in the second. And now a long throw to accompany that. In from Gomez. Flick on, it's still loose. Numbers in the area. Langlois couldn't turn and put it on frame. With each passing second, though, the likelihood of an equalizer appears to be growing. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus hear live matches from the USL MLS Premier League and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Beyond the hour mark now in Corpus Christi, and the Sharks still playing from behind. They've been trailing for about 40 minutes now. This is Pondeka. was denied by Stefani moments ago. And that cross won't quite trouble anyone in the Cosmos kids. Think about the resilience that Corpus Christi has shown throughout this prolonged vein of form. Obviously the Spokane match jumps out, but also have had to weather storms against Chattanooga where they were pegged back and found a winner. Not to mention grinding out results away from home. Even against the likes of AC Boise, which is one of the hardest places to play in USL League One, before toppling Portland Hearts of Pine a week later on hostile ground. This is a team that has shown a capacity to grind out results, but they will have to flip this script and flip it in a hurry, as it is now a double change. Christian Kofi exits for Patrick Bowie, and in addition to that, Nestor Cabrera departs as well for the Cosmos, a double change. Massimo Morabito, the more conservatively based defender, who is less shy about bombing forward and more defensively oriented into the fold. And here's the first touch from the substitute, Bowie. Has Spengler, and now uses him. Spengler, it was a low cross, but no one there in yellow to greet it. Kept in play by Bowie. They are still working. Christian Kofi back to full strength, and as a result, his minutes limited. Bowie, someone who did get experience starting, though, for a couple of matches in his absence. Here's Bowen. Left it dangling for Bowie, and now Jauna onto it. Jauna spins past Bockstein, and now taking on Gomez. Jauna has won a corner. May just be a throw, actually, for the Cosmos. So the subs, Morabito for Cabrera, Bowie for Kofi. That is the first two chess pieces on the board for Davide Corti. Guenzati. Morabito. Jauna. Away by Keeney. Here's Kwakwa. Acosta. No one to aim at there. You look at the XG, and it is pretty glaring, because the Cosmos have spent the lion's share of this second half on the back foot. Not to mention a really slow start by their standards that on a different night could have doomed them to a 2 or 3-0 deficit. But the XG disparity is pretty glaring. 1.35 for Corpus Christi to just 0.25 for New York Cosmos. And for a side in Corpus Christi that has both overperformed its XG and XGA, some may argue perhaps the field is balancing out. This is a side that had only conceded 28 goals allowed and had an XGA of north of 29. Not to mention an XG that was nearly 2 goals under its actual goal tally of 26 goals entering the evening. If you know anything about Ayman Zayed, though, and the progression of this Corpus Christi side, I don't think he would agree with that assessment. This is a squad that defensively has tightened up considerably and has minimized the XGA it has shipped over the course of the last few weeks. As our referee got in the way of Jake Keegan there, and it will be a drop ball for Corpus Christi. This is Langlois. Back into his natural right back role after playing at left back for a brief spell in the first half. Bowen. He is fouled to the chagrin of everyone in yellow. And it is yet another yellow card. Excuse me, yet another free kick, which is brought to you by Driscoll Children's Hospital. Together we heal. You see, Bowen just turns and It's a slight clip from Frankie Lukovic. Not any malice in it, but probably a foul. And that is knocked over. The training room is the physical therapy and performance partner of Corpus Christi FC. They provide the resources and experienced staff to improve performance, prevent injuries, and get athletes match ready. Visit the training room at one of their 3 locations. We are now inside the final 20 minutes. Corpus Christi found themselves trailing 2-1 on Saturday night at this very stage after conceding the would-be winner. And they found a way to flip the script. 2 goals in the final 10. They'll have to replicate that feat if they are to secure another 3 points here. This is Bachstein, who is onside. Bachstein beyond Holtz. A flashing ball that is headed goalward, but not enough venom in the header from Tomas Pondeka. And it was right to the goalkeeper, Stefani. It's better, though, and you're seeing the impact Dominic Bachstein can have with his ability to drift out wide, turn defenders, stretch defenses. It's what the doctor ordered right now for Corpus Christi out of open play. Bachstein. More effective hold-up play, and he shakes off his defender. Bachstein slips it in at Jake Keegan off the crossbar. Was that the chance to level things? Well, he scored a heroic goal on Saturday, and he was not far off from a heroic equalizer seconds ago. Chance not lost just yet, though, for the Sharks. Shannon Gomez with this throw. Another flick on header. It fell for Roscoe. Bachstein. Pondeka clattered it off his own teammate in Keegan. And away by Bowie. Only as far as Kwakwa. Kwakwa again. Gets it back from Pondeka and space to cross. Stalin Acosta put his foot in the mix. This was no doubt Corpus Christi's best chance of the match. And Dominic Bachstein again at the center of everything, just outmuscles his defender and continues to roam forward. And picks out Keegan, who has some work to do here. He turns and lashes at it with his left. He was not far from leveling this, though. A really impressive effort by Keegan, and he just kisses it flush off the crossbar. A real chance for the league's 3rd all-time leading goal scorer to pull the Sharks level and kickstart a would-be comeback attempt. It's not lost yet, though. This cross in, and there is the equalizer. But the flag may just be up. And it has been waved off for Jake Keegan. That a real opportunity as well, but Keegan didn't time his run well enough. And now Spengler the other way. With Bowie for company. He uses him now. Bowie. Couldn't find anyone in yellow lingering. And it's become an open affair here as we inch towards the final 15. Langua. Bowen. Bombing ahead. Has Keegan with him. Goes centrally, gets it back from Bachstein. It's almost loose, but Stefani pouncing on it at the second time of asking. It's a good effort here from Bowen. A clever 1-2 with Dominic Bachstein, who uses him as a fulcrum. And then he tries to shape up and aim for the bottom right. Stefani level to it, though, and then covers it up before Keegan can tap it home on the rebound. Either way, you're seeing the best spell of the match for the Sharks, and it's come when they need it most. It's a late challenge on Acosta from Pondeca. Well done by Stan Acosta and a veteran play, but now he seems in a touch of discomfort. Native of Brentwood, New York, who joined the club after impressing with American Soccer Club of New York against the Cosmos in a friendly earlier this year. Davide Corti has mentioned how that was a profile he immediately knew they needed when he watched him play. He said that he jumped out in his debut Saturday against Davy Alta. We'll see if he can go the full 90, and it's still just his second appearance of the year. Keegan is looking for Boxteen on the flick. Instead, it comes to Spengler, and this is where he's at his most dangerous. Past multiple defenders now, Spengler. Spengler goes for goal! What a finish that is! World class from Ajmir Spengler, and he may have just sealed the points. Simply remarkable from the creative talisman of the New York Cosmos. And Ajmir Spengler secures his 7th goal of the season in some style. Just simply exceptional. He gets this on the turn and bypasses multiple defenders, and then he just continues on, weaves beyond Jack Keeney, has a shot from an impossible angle, and somehow picks out the top left. This is one of the best solo goals you'll see all week in USL League One. Puts his laces through it. There is no chance for James Talbot, and Ajmir Spengler flashes his brilliance once again. A 7th league goal of the season for Ajmir Spengler, who had encountered something of a goal drought over the course of the last couple months. But he gets himself back amongst the goal scorers at a moment where the Cosmos needed him most. An exceptional 7th goal of the season for a player that is universally respected around USL League One for his talent. And he puts it all on display there. And now changes across the board. E.J. Johnson, the loanee from San Antonio, enters for Corpus Christi. It is desperation time for the Sharks. Meanwhile, it seems to be a double swap. Darren Seedol and Nick Zelonka are into the action for the Cosmos. So Seedol is in for Lukovic. That's like for like. So it is a double change for the Cosmos. Seedol for Lukovic, and then it is Zelonka for Guenzati. And as you saw moments ago, Johnson in for Enoch Kwakwa for Corpus Christi. Desperation time for Ayman Zayed's men as they look to avoid just a 2nd league defeat since June 3rd. Yellow card was shown to Ayman Zayed's top assistant as well. Gomez. Away by Holtz. And at this point, it is do or die for Corpus Christi. They must score twice in order to secure anything from this. Otherwise, it will be it will be the Cosmos' first away result of the season. For those just joining us, it is a very surprising result on the cards right now. New York Cosmos 2-0 to the good, largely against the grain. Goals scored by Lamine Jauna and Ajmer Spengler. And Corpus Christi must secure an avenue back into this. Johnson, one of his first touch. It's inside for Bowen and headed away. Long throw from Gomez. And they just have not generated any clear-cut opportunities from these makeshift dead ball scenarios. If this holds, as we mentioned, a first away victory in league play for the Cosmos. Still 10 minutes to see this out, and we've already seen what Corpus Christi can do with their back against the wall Saturday. 2 goals in these final 10, just a few nights prior. Fans, whether you're looking to get in shape, recover, or stay active, the Corpus Christi Athletic Club has everything you need, from fitness classes to aquatics to cryotherapy. The Athletic Club is where you can find it all. Visit them on Holly Road or CorpusChristiAthleticClub.com to get your membership today. Corpus Christi Athletic Club, live happy. Right now, the only side living happy on the pitch is the visitors, New York Cosmos. Despite featuring an XG that is well under a full goal below Corpus Christi's tonight, they are in line to secure not just a first road point of the year, but a first road victory of the year in USL League One play. Before that, though, there will be chances brewing for the Sharks, no doubt. A side that was on top for large spells prior to that Spengler worldie. Jauna out of danger. And at this point, it is just about buckling down and absorbing pressure for the Cosmos. They could get a third here on the counter. Bowie has Spengler with him. He picks out Spengler. Spengler looking to wrap it up, lays it off. Will be a corner now. And the visitors can not only add further pressure, but they can milk precious seconds. And you see Bowie here in the open field, smart to find Spengler, puts it slightly behind him. That allows Bowen to recover. And then the ball to Zelenka slightly underhit. But it does yield yet another set piece for the visitors. And now Ajmer Spengler's gone down, clutching his foot. Cosmos are readying an additional change as well. Lamine Jauna is set to exit for Jordan Chavez. That would be a very defense-minded change for Davide Corti, who has managed this match masterfully so far. Corner taken short. It's Jauna, which likely will be his final involvement. And Ramos's cross is far too tight on James Talbot. He's in a rush to get this going the other way. Bowen. E.J. Johnson. Jauna recovers well. And now the change will take place. So Chavez in. He does replace Lamine Jauna. And it is all hands on deck now defensively for New York. Bowen, nutmeg, but it's rendered void. Fans, don't miss a moment of this inaugural season in Corpus Christi. Tickets are on sale now for all Corpus Christi FC matches. Buy yours today at corpuscfc.com or call 361-225-3316. Final 5 minutes now from Cabinus Athletic Complex in Corpus Christi, Texas. And at the moment, Corpus Christi in line to suffer a crucial blow in its quest to climb into the top 8 of the USL League One table. At the moment, the Sarasota result over Chattanooga would have afforded Corpus Christi a chance to climb into the playoff places with a win, but that looks increasingly unlikely with each passing second, especially now that they face a multi-goal deficit. Lamine Jauna and Ajmer Spengler, two sensational finishes on opposite ends of halftime, separate the two squads. It was a strong finish from Jauna on 25 minutes, and then a world-class solo goal from Ajmer Spengler that has seemingly wrapped things up. This is a remarkable smash and grab performance. Yes, the Cosmos have had their moments, especially growing into it after weathering that early storm from Corpus Christi. But in this second half, they've been on the back foot for the lion's share. And the XG disparity, 1.61 to 0.27. The Cosmos squad that needed a performance like this, especially on the back of that hard-fought victory over AV Alta, in which they were the dominant side. And they've adjusted to both context very well. It sets them up fantastically for their weekend tussle to end things. Cross is well off the mark. It is a Cosmos side that will travel to Chattanooga on Saturday as they look to complete their tour of victories over playoff hopefuls. You can watch the USL Championship in League One on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and on ESPN Plus. Go to uslchampionship.com or uslleague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Dying embers of this one at this point. Bowie, Spengler. Sent down in a heap by Roscoe. And a yellow card shown to the Corpus Christi center back. Johnson. He's fouled, and our referee will brandish a yellow. It's a question of to whom. There is one final free kick before the night is done for Corpus Christi. So it will be a free kick. And you get your look at the challenge. A yellow card instantly shown. Tonight's free kick is powered by Driscoll Children's Hospital. Together we heal. Yellow card has been shown to Darren Seedul, the substitute. It's a tactical foul. Is there any late intrigue in this? Bowen. Headed on by Keeney, but no one there to follow it up. Hearing word it will be a hefty patch of stoppage time that separates us from full time. So there will be some renewed hope amongst the Sharks faithful. And as the seconds dwindle, you get the sense that the hope does so as well. 7 minutes of stoppage time between New York Cosmos and their first road victory of the league season. Talbot going quickly. Flick on header. Roscoe looks for Johnson, who shoved his defender in Stalin Acosta. Another very strong shift from the new signing. And we apologize for any of the discussions you hear in the background. Hearing that some fans are taunting the Cosmos bench at the minute, which seems to be unwise given the scoreboard. And a yellow card shown to Stefani for time wasting. Gomez. Gets it back. Time waning rapidly on the Sharks. Gomez. E.J. Johnson on his debut with Corpus Christi F.C. Langlois. Pondeka cuts inside, but rolls it to the goalkeeper and Stefani. If this result holds, it would be monumental for the Cosmos. It would move them just 1 point off the bottom of the league table in hot pursuit of Richmond kickers. It would also knife the gap between themselves and the playoff line in just 14 points, which is still a lot, but it is far less than what they've dealt with in past weeks. You know how Corpus Christi would squander a colossal opportunity to climb into the playoff places, with Chattanooga still trailing Sarasota. This is Spengler. Dispossessed there by Langlois. Pondeka. Johnson. And Langlois again. He's fouled. And at the midway point of stoppage time, there is yet another free kick powered by Driscoll Children's Hospital, Together We Heal, and another yellow card shown to the Cosmos defense. We are hearing that it is Jordan Chavez, the substitute who's been booked. Another ball in for Bowen, another ball that doesn't quite clear the first line. This is Spengler, who was fouled, and more chance for the Cosmos to let the seconds tick. You look at Corpus Christi's upcoming schedule. It is another fixture they'll feel is manageable against Westchester, but given Westchester's performance against Naples on Saturday, and given the fact they're not coming off of a short week, just wonder what the confidence levels are like for Corpus Christi after suffering defeat to the team that is bottom of the league. And then they head to Madison a week after that in a rematch of what was a comfortable defeat in late May. That was the last loss they had suffered, with the exception of the one defeat they've been dealt over this 11-match span. It was the 3-0 defeat to Madison, and then the 2-1 narrow defeat at Charlotte. Other than that, they've been pretty unblemished since late May. Johnson, Medina, Pondeka chasing, and he doesn't catch up to it. And the prospects of a Herculean comeback look less and less likely. And that was unnecessary from Keegan. One final long throw into the mix. It's still knocked about. Bowen was chasing after it, and now out of danger. Maybe a chance for a final exclamation point. Spengler will not reach it. This is likely one of Corpus Christi's last sojourns forward. And even a late tally will appear more like a consolation than anything else at this point. Spengler turns away from trouble. We tick closer and closer to the added 7 minutes. Keeney. This is their last chance to secure anything. Johnson. Broken up by Zalonka. Beyond the added 7 minutes now. All eyes on Jay Schlesinger. Touchdown to Medina. Away for now. Boxstein. Gomez, one final ball into the quarter of uncertainty. Flicked on by Bowen. And bashed away. Gomez. Langlois crosses to the back stick, away by Holtz. Spengler into the Corpus Christi night sky. And there is the full-time whistle. A monumental result for the New York Cosmos. Their first away result and away victory of the USL League One campaign, and it is back-to-back victories for the first time since early April. It was a performance in which they struck twice, largely against the grain, but they triumph in 2-0 fashion. Goals from Lamine Jauna and Ajmer Spengler make a world of difference as a frustrated Corpus Christi side is dealt an unlikely upset defeat. Just their second loss since the start of June, and they squander a chance to climb into the top 8. Well, that is where we will leave things for now. We'll take a quick breather here on ESPN Plus, and when we return, a look back at the 90 minutes that just transpired. It finishes Corpus Christi 0, Cosmos 2. Stick with us for a look back at everything that unfolded.
Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures. Listen to Mom.
I love that they always have openings. They're always, available. You can come in usually the same day. So I'm glad that they have that. And like I said, the location's great. So it's convenient. I like that.
Open till 9 p.m. weekdays and 7 p.m. weekends. We are a pediatric primary care and urgent care facility for children. Pedicare Children's Clinic and Urgent Care, caring for healthy futures.
Corpus Christi has brought professional soccer to the Coastal Bend. A team you can be proud of, rally around, and celebrate with. Come see the goal celebrations, the passion, and the high intensity.
Line out front, hammered from the spot, and the save again by Talbot. Strikes. What a goal!
For 18 high-energy home matches, come show the nation Corpus Christi has the best fans. Tickets are on sale now for every match at corpuscfc.com.
Welcome back to Cabinets Athletic Complex, where Corpus Christi's red-hot run comes to a close. They fall against New York Cosmos by a 2-0 scoreline in one of the more fun back-and-forth fixtures of the week. It's time to get a look at our full-time highlights here from Corpus Christi, and it was a Corpus Christi side that got off to a very fast start, but on 25 minutes unlocked by Lamine Jauna, a well-taken finish after he bypasses Shannon Gomez here, just ushers it onto his left foot and just lasers it into the bottom right corner. Talbot wrong-footed, can't get down in time to cover his near post, and it was Jauna's first goal in Cosmos colors that made the difference. Corpus Christi from there spent the bulk of the second half trying to play catch-up and had numerous opportunities to neutralize this Jauna opener, but unfortunately for them, they were eventually unlocked after this one glaring chance of note. Dominic Bockstein turns his defender here, and Jake Keegan on the turn lashes it off the crossbar, catches the crossbar flush. It was still reverberating well after he hit it, but he couldn't get it underneath the bar, and their golden chance to level things 18 minutes from full time went begging. And football can be a cruel game. On top for the bulk of the second half, but 4 minutes after that missed chance, Ashmir Spengler weaves through this entire Corpus Christi back line and finishes in astonishing fashion. Just an absolute peach of a goal from Ashmir Spengler, his 7th goal of the campaign, and no chance for James Talbot at that one either. Just enough altitude and venom to take it well beyond him, and one of the goals of the week from the Cosmos talisman. You look at the full-time stats, and wow, what a disparity this is. 17-5 shot advantage, more double the shots on frame from Corpus Christi as well. A far cry from what we saw in the first half, where they struggled to be incisive at times. If you just looked at these numbers and didn't look at the score, you would think at the worst Corpus Christi would have secured a point, but that was not to be tonight because the Cosmos more clinical, and they secure the 2-0 victory as a result. Well, that is where we will leave everything here from the Lone Star State. Corpus Christi on the front foot, but they blow a golden opportunity to climb into the playoff places. New York Cosmos, bottom of the table, come in and secure all 3 points in this key League One battle. For our terrific crew, I'm Sam Goldfarb saying so long, where it finishes Corpus Christi 0, New York Cosmos 2. Have a great rest of your night, everyone. From Texas, signing off.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.